Let's start with something that might sting a little. You've probably spent years talking to your cat, greeting them in the morning, asking about their day, narrating your entire life while they sit there like a furry little sphinx. And most of the time, nothing. No response, no acknowledgement. Just that distant, almost regal stare that makes you wonder if you're even worth their attention. Society told you that's just how cats are. Independent, aloof, emotionally unavailable. But what if I told you that everything you believed about your cat's silence is completely wrong? If you've ever felt that quiet ache of loving a cat who doesn't seem to love you back, this video is for you. Hit that subscribe button and stay with me, because what you're about to learn might just heal something you didn't even know was broken. Here's the truth that most people never hear. Your cat isn't ignoring you. Your cat is filtering you. And there's a massive difference between those two things. See, researchers have spent years trying to understand how cats process human speech, and what they discovered completely shattered the old myth of feline indifference. Unlike dogs, who respond to almost anything with boundless enthusiasm, cats evolved a far more sophisticated system. They developed what scientists call selective auditory attention, a way of processing sound that prioritizes only what truly matters to their survival and emotional world. Think about it this way. Imagine you're sitting in a crowded coffee shop. Dozens of conversations happening around you, music playing, dishes clattering. You tune most of it out, right? But the moment someone across the room says your name, suddenly your brain snaps to attention. That's not ignoring. That's intelligent filtering. And your cat? They're doing the exact same thing with your voice every single day. But here's where it gets fascinating, and honestly, a little emotional. Your cat isn't just filtering random noise. They're filtering for you. Studies show that cats can distinguish their owner's voice from a stranger's voice with remarkable accuracy. They know it's you. They recognize your tone, your rhythm, the specific way you say certain words. The question isn't whether they're listening. The question is, what words have earned a place in their mental vocabulary? And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. The 5 specific words that research suggests cats genuinely recognize and respond to. Some of them will make perfect sense. Others might surprise you. And one of them, the 5th word, carries a hidden meaning that most cat owners completely miss. It's not just about recognition. It's about what your cat's response to that word reveals about their emotional state. But we'll get there. For now, I need you to let go of that old story, the one where your cat doesn't care. Because the reality is so much more beautiful and so much more complex than simple indifference. Your cat has been listening all along. They've just been waiting for the words that matter. So if cats aren't ignoring us, if they're actually filtering and choosing what to respond to, the next question becomes obvious. How? How does a cat's brain actually make sense of human speech? Because let's be honest, we're not speaking cat. We're throwing complex human language at an animal whose ancestors hunted alone in the wild, never needing to understand a single word from anyone. And yet, something gets through. Something lands. But what? Here's where science gives us a gift. Researchers at universities in Japan and the United States set out to answer this exact question. They wanted to know, do cats actually process human words, or are they just reacting to tone and volume like some kind of furry sound detector? The results were stunning. Cats don't just react to noise. They genuinely distinguish specific words within the continuous stream of human speech. They isolate sounds. They remember patterns. They connect those patterns to experiences, emotions, and outcomes that matter to them. But, and this is crucial, they don't process language the way we do. When you hear a word, your brain instantly accesses its meaning, its context, its grammatical function. Cats don't do that. They can't. Their brains aren't wired for semantic understanding. Instead, they process words as what scientists call acoustic triggers. Sound patterns that unlock memories, emotional echoes, physical responses stored deep in their nervous system. Think of it like music. When you hear a song from your childhood, you don't analyze the lyrics first. You feel something. A wave of nostalgia, joy, maybe sadness, all before your conscious mind catches up. That's how your cat experiences your words. They feel them before they understand them. Your voice isn't just sound to them. It's a language of feelings they've spent years learning to decode. And here's the part that should stop you in your tracks. Every single time you speak to your cat, you're not just making noise. You're building their vocabulary. The words you repeat most often, the phrases you say with the most emotion, the sounds you make in moments of connection, all of it gets encoded into their brain. You are literally shaping the linguistic world your cat lives in. No one else can do that. Just you. That's why two cats in two different homes might respond to completely different words. It's not random. It's personal. It's intimate. The words your cat recognizes are a direct reflection of your relationship, your habits, your daily rituals together. They're proof that your cat has been paying attention. Quietly, selectively, but deeply, to the life you share. So the next time you talk to your cat and wonder if any of it matters, know this. Your voice is being recorded in their memory. Your words are becoming part of who they are. And some of those words, they carry more weight than you ever imagined. Let's talk about the first one. Now, here's a question that might seem obvious but actually holds a surprising answer. What's the first word your cat ever truly learned to recognize? Most people guess their cat's name. It makes sense, right? You say it dozens of times a day. You've been saying it since the moment they came into your life. Surely that's the first word that carved itself into their memory. But according to research, it's not. The first word most cats learn isn't their name at all. And when you understand why, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. The first word your cat recognized, the very first sound pattern that meant something real to them, was almost certainly connected to food, treats, dinner, hungry, or maybe it's not even a word. Maybe it's the sound of a bag crinkling, a can opening, a specific cabinet door. Whatever it is in your home, that sound was the first thing your cat's brain marked as important. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Great. So my cat only cares about food. How heartwarming. But wait, because this is where most people completely miss the deeper meaning. Yes, food is survival. That's basic biology. But the fact that your cat responds specifically to your voice saying that word, to your hands preparing that meal, to the sounds that only exist in your home, that's not about hunger. That's about trust. Think about what it means for a cat to fully believe that their needs will be met. In the wild, no one feeds a cat. They survive alone, hunting, scavenging, constantly alert to danger. But your cat? Your cat has learned that when you make that sound, food appears. Safety appears. Comfort appears. They don't have to fight for survival anymore because they trust that you will provide. That's not shallow. That's profound. When your cat comes running at the sound of treats, they're not just responding to a word. They're responding to years of evidence that you are reliable, that you are safe, that you are home. Every single time you fed them, every single time you showed up when they needed you, you were teaching them that your voice means security. That word, whatever it is in your household, became a symbol of everything you represent to them. So no, your cat didn't learn their name first. They learned the word that proved you could be trusted with their life. And honestly, that might be the most beautiful thing they could have learned. Here's something to carry with you. The next time your cat sprints into the kitchen at the sound of a treat bag, don't roll your eyes. Don't dismiss it as just another hungry animal moment. See it for what it really is. Your cat heard your voice, trusted your promise, and came running. Not just for food, but for you. That's not greed. That's faith. Now we arrive at the word you've probably been waiting for. The one that seems so obvious, and yet holds a truth far deeper than most people realize. Your cat's name. Yes, they know it. Research has confirmed what cat owners have always suspected. Cats genuinely recognize and respond to their own names. But here's what the studies revealed that changed everything. Your cat doesn't just know their name. They know their name in your voice. And to them, those are two completely different words. Let me explain. Scientists conducted experiments where cats heard their names spoken by their owners, and then heard the exact same name spoken by strangers. Same word, same pronunciation, same tone. But the responses? Dramatically different. When a stranger said their name, cats showed minimal reaction, maybe a slight ear twitch, a brief glance, nothing more. But when their owner said that same name, the response was up to 3 times stronger. Ears rotating forward, pupils dilating, tail movement, sometimes vocalization. Their entire body language shifted. This isn't just name recognition. This is voice-specific recognition. Your cat has created a category in their mind that exists nowhere else in the world. A category where the sound of their name, combined with the unique frequency of your voice, creates something singular, something that belongs only to the two of you. When you say your cat's name, you're not just calling them. You're speaking a private language that no one else on earth can speak. Think about that for a moment. In a world full of sounds, voices, and noise, your cat's brain carved out a special place just for you. They learned to recognize not just what you say, but that it's you saying it. You're not just another human to them. You're the human whose voice matters. The one worth listening for. If you're feeling something right now, that quiet warmth in your chest, it's because you're realizing the bond you share with your cat is real. It's not imagination. It's not wishful thinking. It's science confirming what your heart always knew. And if this video is making you see your cat differently, I need to ask you something. There are millions of cat owners out there who still believe their cats don't care, who still feel that silent ache of loving an animal they think doesn't love them back. Share this video with them. Help them see what you're seeing right now. Your cat built a mental world where your voice has its own category, where your presence has its own meaning, where the sound of their name on your lips is different from every other sound in the universe. That's not indifference. That's not aloofness. That's a quiet, steady, feline kind of love. One that doesn't announce itself, but simply exists, woven into the fabric of how they experience reality. You are not just their owner. You are their person, and they know the difference. We've talked about food words. We've talked about names. These are the obvious ones, the words you consciously repeat, the sounds you intentionally use to communicate. But now we enter territory that might genuinely surprise you, because the 4th word your cat recognizes isn't one you ever meant to teach them. It's a word you say so often, so automatically, that you probably don't even notice it leaving your mouth. And yet your cat? They've been tracking it for years. I'm talking about your transition words, the tiny verbal habits that punctuate your daily routine. Okay, all right, come on, let's go. 1 second. These throwaway phrases that you scatter throughout your day without a single conscious thought. To you, they mean nothing. To your cat, they mean everything. Here's what researchers discovered. Cats don't just learn words associated with direct outcomes like food or attention. They learn words associated with patterns, with shifts in energy, with changes in the household rhythm. Your cat has been quietly studying you, not just the big moments, but the small ones, the micro-transitions that make up the architecture of your day. And those little words you barely notice, they've become signals, predictions, a map of what's about to happen. When you say okay and stand up from the couch, your cat already knows movement is coming. When you say all right in that specific tone before bed, they know the house is about to go quiet. When you say come on while walking toward the kitchen, they've already calculated whether food might be involved. You didn't train them to understand these words. They trained themselves, because understanding you is how they navigate their world. This is what strikes me as so deeply moving. Your cat isn't just passively existing in your home. They're actively learning you. Every day, in ways you never see, they're paying attention to the tiny details of your life. The words you repeat, The sounds you make before certain actions. The verbal fingerprints of your personality. You are their favorite subject, their most important study, and they've become experts in the language of you. So here's something I want you to try. Over the next few days, start noticing your own verbal habits. Pay attention to those unconscious words you say when you're about to do something. Anything. And then watch your cat. Look for the subtle signs, the ear rotation, the slight shift in posture. The way their eyes track you just a moment before you move. You might be stunned by what you discover. Your cat has built an entire vocabulary around your existence. Words you never taught. Sounds you never noticed. A secret language born from years of silent observation. And every single word in that vocabulary exists because of one simple truth. You matter enough to study. But there's one more word we haven't discussed yet. The fifth word. And this one is different. We've arrived at the moment I mentioned at the very beginning. The fifth word. The one that carries a meaning most cat owners completely miss. And I need you to really hear this, because what I'm about to share isn't just interesting. It might change how you leave your house every single day from now on. The fifth word your cat recognizes is goodbye, or whatever version of it exists in your home. Bye. See you later. Be good. I'll be back. That phrase you say every morning as you grab your keys and walk toward the door. You probably think it's just a habit, a polite little ritual you perform more for yourself than for them. But your cat has learned exactly what that word means, and their response to it is trying to tell you something important. Researchers studying feline behavior noticed something fascinating. Cats don't just recognize departure words, they anticipate them. They learn the entire sequence. The sounds that come before, the jacket, the keys, the shoes, and then that word, that final signal that you're about to disappear. What happens next varies from cat to cat. Some vocalize, some follow you to the door, some seem to shut down, retreating to a quiet corner before you've even left. And some appear to do absolutely nothing. But here's what most people don't understand. Both reactions carry meaning. A cat who reacts visibly to your goodbye might be experiencing separation anxiety, a genuine emotional response to your absence that deserves attention and care. But a cat who shows no reaction isn't necessarily indifferent. They might have learned to cope. They might trust that you'll return. Or they might have internalized the stress in ways that aren't immediately visible. The point isn't to make you feel guilty every time you leave for work. The point is awareness. Your cat knows when you're leaving. They understand that word, and how they handle that moment, whether with visible distress or quiet acceptance, is a window into their emotional world. A world that most owners never think to look into. So tomorrow morning, when you say goodbye, pause for just a second. Look at your cat. Really look. What do their ears do? Where do their eyes go? Do they follow you or turn away? That response isn't random. It's communication. It's your cat telling you something about how they experience your absence. If you're willing to pay attention, you made it to the end of this video, and that tells me something about you. You're not just someone who owns a cat. You're someone who wants to understand them, who cares enough to learn. And that single fact already makes you a better companion than most. Your cat has learned 5 words in your voice, 5 sounds that matter in a world full of noise, and every single one of them leads back to you.